We can work off of a baby's abilities when they're ready. So it's really important to know when your baby is developmentally ready, their weight is up to what it needs to be, they followed this little guideline of showing you these signs that they're ready for the sleep training. We have that fine-tuned eye to see when that time has come. And our sleep training is not going to be this cookie cutter image of every baby is supposed to do this all at the same time, and this is your baby, this age, this weight, and this is what they're supposed to do. It's going to take your baby on an individual level and look at where they are on their weight gain, their calorie intake for that day, for that week, and their growth curve, and what their pediatrician's feedback is on how they're developing, and how mom feels about how things are going, and her milk supply. We take everything into consideration. We don't want to affect mom's milk supply. We don't want to affect baby developmentally by doing something when it's inappropriate, and we never want to pull away feeds from a baby who's not ready on their weight, because their weight is so important. So our sleep training is, I would say that the strongest aspect of it is the nutrition behind it. We take into consideration baby's daily calorie intake, and that's super important when you're pulling feeds out of the nighttime and you're taking food away from them, that food is then replaced. I can't emphasize that strong enough. The reason it's hard for parents to see the signs for when a baby's ready for sleep training, or why they've kind of missed their window when the baby's ready and they've surpassed it, now they have an older child who's still waking multiple times in the night, even though they don't technically need to, is because it's hard to see the signs. When you haven't done this over and over and over again, and you haven't done this through hundreds of families and seen this for 10 plus years, then how are you going to know that when it's your first time right out of the gate? Babies change every couple of days in the beginning. They have a growth spurt every couple of days. They start to break them down into every week to every 2 weeks, and then every month. You have growth spurts at 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months. If you don't know all of that, you wouldn't know it happened until it happened. You would notice, oh, baby ate a couple of times extra yesterday. That was strange. Or, oh, they've slept a lot in the last couple of days. I wonder why that's going on. That's a growth spurt. Would you know that before it happened? No. How would you? It's the same with knowing how much a baby's supposed to eat when they come home. You have an exclusively breastfed mom who comes home and dad wants to feed a bottle, 3 days old. How much should your baby eat? How many milliliters? How many ounces? Is there a book that's going to tell you all of this? No. Is there a hand guide that's going to give you, hey, today you can do this because it's day 3, but by day 5 you have to switch it. Oh, we're already at day 7, things change again. Until you've been in a home and you've done this with so many babies, you would never know that. So it's not that moms and dads are failing at sleep training. It's not that they're failing as parents. It's that they haven't done this over and over again to see all of the signs. And that's what we want to come in and help them see. This is what's going on. Let's approach it in this way. This is how we can best approach it, because now your baby's ready for this. XYZ has brought them to this point. This is why they're ready. Until that point, you would not know. And it's not fair to put that kind of responsibility on a parent when it's their very first time. Or even time 2. But you can do something 2-3 times in your life and you still haven't mastered it. So you can have 5 kids and you're still figuring things out. I could say that I've had 500 kids. That's how many children I've held in my hands, I've had in my presence, that I've helped guide. That puts us in the position to help parents on any level. We can come in at any stage, at any level, and say, this is why this is the way that this is. This is what brought you here, and this is how we can help you. It's the experience, and that takes cake for everything when you've gotten to have the experience with that many people and that many babies. The education behind it is what makes it so powerful. There's no right age. That's the excitement about it. It's your baby's weight and their developmental abilities. Age isn't a factor. Now, age will affect the level of difficulty. The sooner we can start, we can reach that window of opportunity without skipping it. So the development of a baby is going to progress whether you're ready for it or not. They're going to follow their natural development and their biological needs to grow. They're just going to follow those lines. That's what they're supposed to do. So we're going to meet them on those stages. If we can catch them when they need to be sleep trained, I don't like to call it sleep training. We do a baby-led sleep training. We like to do it when they're ready. So we're going to see that from day 1 when they're ready. I can't tell you it's 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 6 months, sometime from birth through their growth curves, their developmental stages. We can catch that when they're ready. You call us when it's past that period and they're a little older and we're coming in. we're working less on calorie intake and nutrition and a little bit more on developmental and habit forming. I don't even know how to call it.
The routine.
Breaking
their routines.
Right. And I don't know, because I never want to say that a baby has formed bad habits, but there are some bad habits. And they're usually not babies, they're usually their parents. So we come in and we look at those and we figure out what those are, and we can work on them, because again, we're meeting in the middle. We're talking to another little human being, and we come to meet in the middle. When you have a 1-year-old, they'll talk back. So they're gonna tell you no, and I don't like that, and all of these fun little one-word sentences, but that's okay, because we're gonna build a relationship that's gonna work for them, and we're gonna do what's appropriate for them. Our newborn babies, it's totally different. We're gonna build them up so that your whole first year isn't this year of sleepless nights. That is avoidable. You don't have to have sleepless nights for 1 year. So we can start from the very beginning, and we'll catch them when they're ready.